So there's an approach that I think people need to have when you look at your entire YouTube formula. And I think that live has to be a huge component of that.
Kirk Nugent, I am so excited to have you here. Thank you for that. I'm going to get right into what does live streaming do to gain viewers, to gain subscribers? How does it work better, in your opinion, than doing pre-recorded, or does it? What do you feel about that?
It's the repurposing. There is always pressure for small business entrepreneurs, everybody to post. You got to post. You got to post because you want to be relevant, but you don't want to post garbage. If you have a live show, you can pull the blog post out. You can pull out these different little quotes, and you can pull out these memes. You can pull out these 60-second clips. Those are meaningful posts. They're snippets. They're bite size. As somebody says, it's like a piece of the meal. It's not the full meal. And it lets people's appetite get wet for, man, I wonder what the larger thing was. And that'll bring them over to wherever you are. So you want to do the repurposing thing well. There's a full approach that encompasses, of course, pre-recorded and then live. But one of the things that I find very interesting about live is when you're live, you do have this ability to talk through things and kind of shift on a dime, and the sum total of what you end up with, like that end product, is probably going to be better than what you would have done had you planned it out. So there's an approach that I think people need to have when you look at your entire YouTube formula. And I think that live has to be a huge component of that. I had a guy on the show this past Monday who made the case for live streaming being the top of the content pyramid, at the top of the content pyramid. And I totally agree with him. And the basic gist of it is simply, even if nobody shows up to your live stream, let's say me and you, we have this conversation, we do it live, we record it, we edit it up, we make it available as a produced product, right? Then we take the transcript and we make that available as a blog post. Then we take snippets, like little quotes from the blog post, and make those into memes and share those on social media, on Instagram, TikTok, wherever. Then we take the audio from the longer form content and we make that into a podcast. And we take little audiograms from the podcast and we make those into little memes and little snippets that we can share on social media as well. Again, throwing to your long form content. So the live stream becomes that base. It's like, this is the first thing you do. And if you do that part right, it's one of the things I teach people when you're doing your live streaming. It is a form of video editing. When you play your intro, you do your host intro, then you play your little video, you bring on your guest, you have that conversation, you bring up a little thing on screen that shows the question, whatever it is, however your short format is, and then you close it out with an outro. You are editing a video. It's editing without editing. But once you've clicked end and that video is finished, that live stream is finished, that live stream is now a video. So when people say, oh, I'd much rather pre-produced, I'd much rather a produced video. Well, if you produce your live stream, you're producing your video.
It's such gold. It's such an excellent tip. Producing your live stream is gold.
There's something to be said. Of course, I'm a carpenter's son, so we believe in the old adage that measure twice, cut once, right? So because you can't cut that same sheet of wood more than once. If you cut it wrong the first time, you got to throw the whole thing out and get a whole new sheet. So with live streaming, you do the prep work on the front end. With produced videos, you do the prep work on the back end. So you just got to pick your poison. I prefer to do the prep work on the front end, have the live stream, and then just chop it up. And there are things that I do in my show. Like, I'll give you an example. I did a conference for a client. He had a leadership conference, Elevate Your Business Summit, had about 6 different speakers come through. Each speaker had a little 12-second intro video that I played before each speaker came on. But that 12-second intro video became the marker in the video for us to be able to clip. That's a little video, clip. That's another little video, clip. That's another little video. And it's bookended by, this nice little produced. You see, that's the beauty of live, is that you can still play a nice produced clip. So if you do the prep work, if you want to produce your live show in a way that allows you after the fact, right? And it takes time, but it's muscle memory. As you continue to work that muscle, it gets stronger. But and especially if you have a bit of a team, I know that's not everybody's story, but as you begin to develop your process, you can bring people in and they can easily fit right into the process of, okay, so during the live show, this is how they format it. He's going to go do this part, or she's going to do this part at this point. And I know that I can clip out this part. I know that I can clip out this piece. There's a process that you'll follow afterwards. And that once you have that process down, it becomes very quick. This is the last piece I want to share here on that note, as we kind of rehash produce this live stream, just the way you would produce your video, is that as you develop those systems and that process, the time to the finished product becomes quicker and quicker and quicker. That is, again, another benefit of having live stream at that top of the pyramid and everything else falling under it. So
time is something that you never, ever get back in your life.
Exactly.
Anything you can do to speed up the process is, again, gold.
That's it.
Wow. Okay. I love it. That was excellent. Such wonderful tips. Great advice. Thank you so much, Kirk Nugent. Just two more things. The name of your YouTube show and when it is.
So it's Convos and Collabs, Conversations and Collaborations, but it's the short version of both, Convos and Collabs. And it is on Mondays, 7 p.m. Central Time. So I know that's 8 p.m. for folks out in the East, and that's 5 p.m. for folks out in the West. 7 p.m. Convos and Collabs is the name of the show. The name, the slogan of the channel is How It All Works. If you go to youtube.com/Kirk Nugent, you'll see how it all works there. And one of our colors is purple. That's part of our brand. But the name of the show that we're in right now is Convos and Collabs. So we'd love for you to come and check us out. Mondays, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And how can people get a hold of you and find out more about your coaching and what you offer?
Absolutely. That's there on the website as well. So kirkrnugent.com, services. I think remote production is there, but also coaching and consulting is there as well. I do a lot of trainings for folks, a lot of studio consultations. Actually, that's one of the things I was going to say a little earlier was a lot of people are making that investment, in their home to have a studio, a dedicated place. So I've been doing a lot of those, especially locally. A number of them are not local. So you just kind of walk the space virtually with them over a video call. And then we make recommendations. Some folks get the measuring tape out and we do it all, but yeah, we do a lot of consultations. We do trainings on different platforms for streaming, of course, remote production, but then there are a lot of folks who just want the coaching.
I look forward to having another great interview with you. I'm so thrilled to have Kirk Nugent speaking with us about how live streaming can not only grow your channel, but grow your business. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in either one of those videos.